charity is focused on old people who are without families and who are poor. There is not an infrastructure there like you have here, where you have retirement centers. And so there are old people who live alone and have no money. And we're started this charity so we can feed them some days during the month. We can have a garden so they have something to do and we can raise food to feed them. We'll have a community kind of center where they can meet and work on things together and socialize. And so that a doctor can also come in once a month or so and give them some health screening. So I tell my friends this, okay? So I've told you about who the target is, and I told you what we're going to do. And my friends, when I tell them, they want to know, why are they without family? And you think about it, I told you they're old and poor. I told you what I'm going to do for them. But the missing component is the cause of them being poor and without family. And that's what people want to know. So if you use that as an example, where I told you I'm going to help poor family-less people, and we're going to feed them and give them a doctor and give them some socialization, and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. But why don't they have a family? And so that's the kind of missing piece. That's the missing piece. No, we until they tell you, you don't know why. And then there's speculation. Oh, maybe they didn't have kids. The point is that it's just an example of how problem and solution. I told you the problem, I told you the solution, but I didn't tell you the cause of why they're without family. And when I tell my friends, they always want to know the cause of it. Why are they without family? And so that's why I say that you can use this, but it's always better to add the piece of information, the cause, why. Answer why all the time. It's the sure, what's the solution? I started the charity. I started the charity. I'm going to feed them. They're going to have a doctor see them once a month. That's the solution. Okay, let me just finish this, okay, and then we can come back. Okay, so adding the why in there. Too often here in Armenia, and I see it in the media all the time, and I see it with people. Nobody here ever says why. I go to Old Deer and I say, what are some reasons why you would deny a tourist visa? And they say, because. And I say, but why? Because is not an answer. But it's not an answer. It's an answer when you're 2 years old. When you say, don't color on the wall. And the child says, why? And you say, because you'll make a mess. Why? Because you're coloring on the wall. Why? I told you not to do it. Why? Because I'm your mother. Why? Because I'm older than you. Why? Because I said so and just don't do it. That is how because I'm your mother, because I said so, right? We've all done that when we were 2 years old. Don't do it anymore. You need to ask and answer why. You have to be prepared to do that. And too often here, I see people not prepared to answer why. You what?
Because we don't want answering so many questions.
Yeah, but I could just tell you, but you have to. I mean, in this situation now, you have to. And government, for example, has to. It's their obligation. It's their obligation.
You know.
Right, but it doesn't matter. You still are entitled to the answer. And I'm entitled to ask you, as a lecturer here, why? And you have to be prepared to defend your position. Okay? So, it goes to deeper thinking, deeper reasoning, deeper logic also. Why is a question that is universally overlooked. I mean, I'm a journalist by training, by profession. So the journalists are all used to answering who, what, where, when, and how, but they don't always answer why. Here's another example of this. So I've been hosting Couchsurfers the last few weeks. I've had a lot of them, a lot. And it's been especially interesting with some of the Germans because they have gone to the Genocide Museum. And they go through there and I'm like, okay, it's not like going through Auschwitz, it's not like going through Dachau. It's really different, but it is on part of Armenian history. And they're like, oh yeah, go in, you know, the map, pictures, some artist drew some artifacts, and then the things of soil, and then the monument. So here's where the churches are, and then here's some pictures, and here's the soil. And April 24th, 1915. And they all come out going, but why did the genocide happen? Why did it happen? I don't want to know the answer. The point of my story is not to get an answer. I'm trying to tell you why asking and answering the question why is important.
There is no.
No. I don't want an answer. Because you know what? There isn't an answer. Because you can, but
how do you answer?
I tell them they're right. Because the truth is, there is no answer to why it happened.
No, there is.
I'm sorry, go to the Genocide Museum, walk through it, there is no answer provided on why.
Because
we know why. You know what?
In the museum there is no answer.
But you're not listening. You're not listening.
No,
When people walk through the museum and they look, there is no answer to the question why. I don't want an answer now. The question is I'm telling you the situation so that you remember. No. I don't know. We can just stop. I'm sorry. I am not asking the question for an answer. I'm asking the question or telling the story as a way to illustrate for you the cause, the problem, cause, solution. And to get at the cause, you need to ask and answer why. We're not debating the museum. We're not debating the genocide. We're talking about problem, cause, solution. And when we focus on cause, we need to answer why. That's what we need to focus on. I'm telling you the story only to illustrate why it's important to do this, to answer why, okay? So let's just look at this now. So what happens is we have a problem and solution. Missing books. This is the problem. One of the attempted solutions, putting the book in a closet, right? And the final solution is getting lockers, which is what we have upstairs in ATC. So you have books missing. We think, oh, we'll put them into a closet, and then we come to the final one. We could put them into a closet, but then everyone is still going in and out of the closet. So the final solution is each of you gets a locker, and you only go into your locker. You understand what locker is? Good. You'll put that on your